Welcome back, everybody. We're finally finishing off this series with the Druid Guide today. For today, we have on Dewey as a guest. Want to say hello?
Hi,
So, how long have you been on Crom for and playing as a Druid?
I've been on Chrome for like 6 years,
Okay. Oh,
and a
damn.
Druid since I started, so 6 years too.
OP. And we're also joined by Lovedy Ninja as usual.
Hey!
Ah! So, what is the primary strengths of the Druid class?
I mean, well, Druid has a lot of strengths.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most versatile classes by far, and it's just broken because it's the only class that does its thing.
Yep.
So, it's it's the only healing class in the game. It's the only buffing, or really dedicated buffing class in the game. And even when you get late game full DG like Dewey, you're also a primary DPS, which is just disgusting.
Yeah, it's OP.
It is. So what are let's it does have a few weaknesses though, and what are those?
I'd say it's the interrupts that you can get.
Like how so? How does it get how do you get interrupted a lot?
Let's say you're lexing and your health is low, and you try to heal, and then you can't because the mob interrupts you.
Ah,
Basically,
Yeah, and
anytime
all,
you get hit, it interrupts your skill.
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
happens happens with vines too.
Okay. That's probably really annoying then. Um I was lixing a druid for a little bit and yeah, just kind of aids with the cooldowns and then stuff getting cancelled. So,
Yeah.
they also how are their energy costs
Um.
overall?
But yeah, bees, bees.
Just all bees.
They take a lot of energy.
Okay. Is that like just where most of your damage comes from as a druid?
I mean, for bosses, it's good. Besides that, not really.
Oh, really? Okay. And love, how does hot swapping work with this class? Because as one of the classes, we covered how mages need to hot swap like everything, and how much hot swapping is required for druids.
I would say maybe a little bit less than mages, but in terms of what they need to look for, I'd say it's kind of the same things: direct damage, skill points, and stuff that adds focus.
And cooldown gear.
Yeah, and cooldown gear.
Although cooldown gear, I think, is more reliant with specific skills instead of like every skill.
Yeah.
Because like you want like nature's touch and you like your lightning strike and storm touch cooldowns, but the other stuff doesn't matter. Okay. And what are the stats that they're primarily looking for?
Focus.
Okay.
Just all focus. And
As much as you can without dying.
okay. And then health is probably, I'm guessing, just as much as you need. More if you're lexing with the usual 3-2 ratio.
I would say something like that because remember, druids can buff themselves and can heal themselves. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. And what are so definitely one of the biggest weakness of druids is lexing them. And so, Dewey, what would you say is your biggest recommendation for like a lixing build for the druid to make it easy?
What I did was this was kind of suck. I didn't used bark instead because I died a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I used the skills lightning strike, storm touch, vines nature's touch, and bark.
And you just kind of take all the damage.
It made me tanky.
Yep. And then basically, then you also just run on top of that every damage skill you basically can, and kind of just suck it up and look for groups when you can.
Yep.
I have seen some strategies online of where you only max Howling Wind, and then you just go all DPS, and then the Grasping Root builds as well for Elixing. So if you feel like you're lacking gear, those two setups also work, from what I've seen. Next, with all of the Druid skills, there are so many to cover. We're mainly just going to cover the key ones and probably the ones that you shouldn't be running ever, which is a few of them. So what do you think are like the key abilities as a Druid?
For DPS, Lightning Strike, Storm Touch, Vines, Bees. Sure.
Okay. And then what are some of the more useless skills for a Druid? And do they have any application?
Is useless. Abundant Aura. I mean, it could be useful, but barely does anything.
That's the
Rescue.
group health buff, right?
Yeah, but it's it sucks.
Hmm.
Rescue, not really that useful.
I saw someone use it at Bloodthorn, though, with pulling them out of the vomit. But that's still useless.
It's not worth 50 points.
I remember sometimes people would use it during Dino, but I don't know.
Can you use that to counteract, like, Dino Teleport?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, okay. Yeah, and then the skills that we were talking about that were really good. The Lightning Strike is just a primary bread and butter damage skill. What does the Shield of Bark do?
It increases armor.
Okay, and this can be cast on anyone, so on any target. So at raids, this is a very important skill that almost every Druid should have. Bless is another really good skill. What does that one do?
Increases
Bless. Yeah.
Okay, evasions. Yep. And what were some of the other really important ones again?
Nature's Touch.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the healing. That's just a single target heal. Every Druid runs that again. How good are some of the wards?
It's a ward for like everything.
Yeah,
That poison.
So, poison ward is used for everything?
No, there is
No.
no poison word, is what he's saying.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
We have a ward for everything except for poison.
Oh, except for poison. Okay. And so I'm guessing that those get switched out usually depending on what raid you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But could just swap for it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just use hot swaps. Okay. How about Sanctuary?
It's it's okay. It's a shield skill for a group.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't give that much shield.
I have seen it used on monoliths to some good effect and Necro, because that would reduce Necro's healing. And the monoliths to just do so much AoE damage. It's good to reduce that.
Yeah.
Outside those situations, though, I don't think it's very useful and probably don't want to run it. Howling Wind is a good skill if you want to cheese bosses. It's
OP for something like.
Yeah. It gets really bad once you start getting better and better with your clan. Okay. So with the hot swapping, what are some of the gear that we definitely want to be looking for as a Druid?
For DPS, we want to look for as much as lightning strike, direct damage.
Okay.
Thanks. As healing, you want direct heal, but nature's touch.
How good
Direct.
is direct nature's breath stuff?
What?
How good is direct nature's breath gear?
Gilly ring, a mighty, gives 243 direct heal for nature's breath.
Okay. And for armor, what is the best setup for that apart from Dodge Gull? So a lot of DPS, like, they will run full Dragon Lord or EDL, but casters generally go a mixture of like occult or something like that. What are the pieces that you want of occult?
You want probably top, boots, and
Gloves, maybe.
legs. Legs too for nature's breath.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. And then for DPS, it's gloves.
Yeah.
Then a round helm for lightning strike.
Okay. And then the Hrung weapon is also pretty good. And then any gear as well that just gives you nature's magic, because you just kind of want to get that up as much as possible. Okay. So yeah, with hot swapping being as important as it is, then what are the best mounts for the Druid? And what are the different situations that you might use different mounts?
I say the best mount is the elk. Gives focus and vit. Focus increases every druid skill.
Mm-hmm.
And vitality is just survivability. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but okay.
It's good enough. And then I've seen some bear druids in the past.
Bear skill can reduce like the interruptions. You use it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's good for soloing too.
I've seen it pretty good in PvP, which I don't know how much you have gotten into PvP for. The druid.
It's really good for PvP too.
Okay. What would be like a good PvP build then that you would recommend for druids?
If I went PvP, I would use all my DPS skills, nature's touch, shield the bark, and a ward for that class that I'm dueling.
Okay.
So if I'd be dueling a druid, I'd go for magic lure.
I once trolled Sir Hall on my druid before it got banned. I went Howling Wind against him and made his attack negative. It just
Ranger?
auto attack him down. Yeah, he was a ranger. So he just couldn't ever hit me. Okay. And then as for pets, what are the good options for pets?
You could go the cheap way with bunny, eagle. The expensive way, which is phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a lot of people with phoenixes, you could go with dragon because it's more DPS
Mm-hmm.
overall.
And then the phoenix just really helps buff your skills by reducing the magic resistance.
Yep.
And this is only with the purple phoenix, I think it is. Or
For druids.
yeah, the druids will only ever go purple phoenix. Okay. On top of that, is there anything else we really maybe want to cover? All in all, like the druid class.
Gear to look for.
Yeah. The druid class is very much of like a toolkit class. Like it's hard to sit here and like talk about how like, oh, run this and that. It's more like the druid class is more of a, you just kind of take what you need at the given time. It's definitely not a very beginner-friendly class. It's just kind of stack,
Yep.
focus, and your nature's magic, and then whatever skills you need. Hot swapping will be more in depth on its own video, and on mages we talked about it a lot. But yeah, what kind of gear is like big corner piece stone gear for druid builds?
T rings definitely
Mm-hmm.
best.
Those are the best
lightning-
hot swap rings in the game.
Gully weapons, or if not, dino weapons.
Hmm.
Good.
Dino weapons, aren't they
I-
just better Gelly weapons?
Yeah.
Okay.
So druid, you might want to have a Bane of Deathless. It's like the magic lure ring that gives you a magic lure.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good for everything. That bosses,
yeah.
because people have.
That can also stack with your Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so that could make elixing very easy. As well. So yeah, I think that pretty much actually wraps things up mostly. Is there any final thoughts you have on this that you would like to
In-game-
recommend?
Game druid is just broken. It's fun. It's just I don't know. It's just good.
Yeah, once you get full DG on Druid, it's kind of ridiculous at how much you do. This
Be healing, be
yeah,
DPS.
OP buffing and debuffing of bosses. Yeah, they're by far the most broken class in this game.
Don't forget energy sigils.
Oh yeah,
Yep. As a druid, you want to have a lot of energy sigils.
I mean,
Yeah. Also,
if you can't get your energy back up to 1 to 2 ticks with energy sigils, yeah, you're doing something wrong.
Energy harvest is a good alternative to getting your energy back up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
even just swaps, my energy harvest does like 1,300.
Oh jeez. Wait, with no points and only swaps?
Just swaps.
Oh jeez. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna then wrap things up. Thank you very much for coming on. And yeah, I guess we'll see you all next time. So peace.
Bye-bye.